It's turkey time here in America, and AI may have just solved one of the most frustrating parts of Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. We are coming right up on Thanksgiving. In fact, by the time you're listening to this, it may be Thanksgiving. And it turns out that there is a very specific experience that Americans really hate on this day. It's not getting stuck in conversation with a weird drunk relative, but has to do with the cooking process. For over 50 years, Butterball has maintained a turkey hotline. Think 911 for turkey-related emergencies. This very famously featured in an episode of The West Wing, where President Josiah Bartlet mentioned offhandedly that there should be a special service for helping people with their Thanksgiving turkeys, only to discover that one existed. He then, of course, tried to economist-splain to them how to make a turkey, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that Butterball has decades of audio data from customers explaining the snags they run into on Thanksgiving Day. By piping this data through an AI summarization tool, Butterball came up with a startling finding. People hate dealing with frozen turkey. Every year, Thanksgiving chefs call up in a state of panic when they realize they've forgotten to thaw the bird. While this isn't a surprise, the key insight was that complaints about thawing have exploded in recent years, something that Butterball might not have noticed without the help of AI to summarize millions of customer service interactions. The firm has now undertaken a 3-year process of revising their data structure and analyzing customer input, and is now quite possibly the most AI-forward turkey processor in the world. This is all they do, and each Thanksgiving Day has 18 months of preparation put into it, from procurement to logistics to customer service. AI is also helping with those tasks, allowing the firm to better optimize their inventory and deliveries. The crown jewel of their AI overhaul, however, is the thaw-less turkey, making its debut this Thanksgiving. That product involved hours and hours of testing with turkey scientists collecting hundreds of data points. With the help of machine learning, Butterball believes they have engineered the perfect thaw-less turkey. They've paired it with precise cooking instructions to ensure it comes out right every time. So, if you are cooking a thaw-less turkey this year, you could be eating your first AI-enhanced Thanksgiving meal. Next up, Perplexity is about to fall into one of the single greatest traps that any startup can fall into, which is trying to make a cool next-generation hardware device. Earlier this week, CEO Aravind Srinivas wrote, "Considering making a simple under $50 hardware device that will reliably answer your questions voice to voice. Just do this, but do it very well. If this post gets more than 5,000 likes, we'll definitely make it." When the post did indeed get more than 5,000 likes, he followed up with the comment, "All right, LFG." AI hardware, though, has been a fairly fraught category over the past year. The arguable most successful product, the Rabbit R1, launched to very lukewarm reviews. The company claims to have shipped 130,000 units, but they are readily available at a steep discount in the secondary market. Others, like the Humane AI Pin, had awful reviews, weak sales, and a recall that has forced the company to look for an acquirer. Still, if the last year has taught us anything, it's don't fade Perplexity. The company is reportedly in the middle of raising $500 million and has been shipping relentlessly for months. AI hardware is also a theme that could rise in popularity next year. Midjourney recently formed a hardware team, OpenAI is looking to develop a device designed by Johnny Ive, and Rabbit's agentic upgrade is showing some promise. Still, shipping an AI wearable at a $50 price point seems pretty tough. And some are trying to convince Srinivas to do literally anything else. Solopreneur Peter Levels wrote, "In my opinion, don't do it. It's already done and never works. We don't need another AI device. We already have a smartphone. Just double down on making the mobile app the best ever. Add a great competitor to Google Images because I use that a lot, but it should be a similar layout, as LLM-style layout doesn't work for it." And I think this is the sentiment from lots of people. Taking on Google and finally being the first company to actually have a chance to disrupt search in 20 years seems like a big enough task. Others, though, are egging him on, with Boyan Tungu saying, "I already made one for $200 using off-the-shelf PC and ChatGPT advanced mode. I'm about to make one with Raspberry Pi for around $100. So will it actually happen? We will just have to wait and see. Over in funding news, a group of former Google and Stripe executives have raised $56 million to build an operating system for AI agents. The startup, called Dev/Agents, is led by a group of founders who helped build the Android platform. They're now applying the same playbook to AI agents. The key insight is that agents will need a common technical framework to connect to services and communicate with each other, much like different apps within an operating system. Co-founder and CEO David Singleton said, "We need an Android-like moment for AI. We can see the promise of AI agents, but as a developer, it's just too hard to build anything good." The goal is to create a new user interface that allows more natural interactions with agents across different devices. One thing that's for sure is that the team is absolutely stacked with talent. Hugo Barra, the startup's chief product officer and formerly VP of product management for Android, said, "This is a team that's built the last 3 generations of operating systems." Investors are certainly excited. Nina Achajian, a partner at Index Ventures, said, "If you think about the people at this company and founder market fit, it couldn't be more relevant for what they've set out to go build." Jill Chase, a partner at Capital G, said, "This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity they're attacking." Announcing the company and laying out his vision, Singleton tweeted, "Modern AI will fundamentally change how people use software in their daily lives. Agentic applications could, for the first time, enable computers to work with people in much the same way people work with people. But it won't happen without removing a ton of blockers. We need new UI patterns, a reimagined privacy model, and a developer platform that makes it radically simpler to build useful agents. That's the challenge we're taking on. We're building a cloud-based OS for trusted agents to work with users across all of their devices. We want to help people spend time on what matters to them." In another bit of funding news, Black Forest Labs is in talks to raise $200 million in their first major funding round. The German startup is only a few months old, but has garnered acclaim for their Flux text-to-image model. The model is driving image generation for xAI's Grok chatbot, and is generally considered to be right at the top of state-of-the-art. The company's founding team includes several computer scientists involved with creating Stable Diffusion. The new funding round is rumored to value the company at $1 billion and will be led by A16Z. Their seed round was raised in August, gathering $31 million from A16Z, and including Oculus co-founder Brendan Uribe and Y Combinator head Gary Tan. In product news, Google is connecting Spotify to Gemini. According to code spotted in the Gemini extension, the AI assistant will soon be able to take control of Spotify. Users will be able to use AI to search and play music using natural language requests. For the moment, Gemini won't be able to make playlists or interact with radio stations on the platform. This marks the second integration for Gemini outside of Google's apps, with WhatsApp compatibility added last month. And the question is whether this reveals something of Google's upcoming strategy. Is their focus going to be on bringing an agentic-type experience to a wide constellation of apps? It would certainly be in line with how they've done things in the past. Lastly today, a new business line for Uber. The company is launching a new AI data labeling service. The new division, called Scaled Solutions, has begun hiring contract workers to complete data labeling tasks. The initiative builds on an internal team that tackles large-scale annotation tasks for the ride-sharing company, but the division will now offer their service to external clients. Data labeling is an unglamorous but rapidly growing part of the AI industry. Scale AI, a startup that offers similar services, is currently valued at $14 billion, among the top tier of venture-backed companies in the space. We're also seeing high-quality data labeling emerge as a superpower for some model builders. Last month, a new video model from Chinese lab Minimax blew the industry away with its unprecedented capabilities, and some suspected the secret to building that performant video model was plentiful and accurately labeled training data. Regarding plans for this new division, an Uber spokesperson said, "Having performed these tasks at scale over the past decade as part of our own growth, we deeply understand the needs of companies requiring these services." They added that hiring independent contractors aligns, quote, "with our expertise as one of the world's largest providers of flexible work opportunities." It may not be big news from the Frontier Labs, but there is still plenty going on as we head into this holiday week. For now, that is going to do it for the AI Daily Brief Headlines edition. Next up, the main episode.